welcome back to another video. Today is job number 1 for the Mk2 preparation for its MOT. I want to get a full service done to it, and I want to change the battery out for a new one as well. The Mk2 is a little bit different to modern day cars because it doesn't have a fuel filter and it doesn't have a pollen filter, so I'll be changing the air and the oil, and that's pretty much it service wise. I'm putting a new battery in it because the one I've got has only got half of its life left. I've done a battery testing it the other day and it's not looking very good, so I've got a new one from Euros which has got a 3 years warranty on it, so jobs are good really. So I'll show you the parts, then I'll just get cracking with the service. Here's all the service items. Got them from Euro Car Parts, and they got a really good deal on at the moment. It was Love 50, I think the discount code was, for Valentine's Day, and it was like nearly 45 to 50% off some parts. So I used that, and all of this come to £57, so I was really happy with that. These are the parts I got. I went for man filters, got some triple QX 1040 oil, and a new line battery. So I'm quickly just going to knock this service out and I'll bring you lot with me. Got the Mk2 jacked up now so I can get the oil drain bucket underneath. Some of you might cringe at this, but I've got a block of wood because my jack doesn't go that high. There's an axle stand under it, so it should be alright. Under the car now, you've got the sump here. The sump bung's placed at the back. It's a 13mm, and I've just got my 13mm on a 3/8 ratchet. Shouldn't be too tight. I'm doing it up. God, there you go. Then I've got my bucket to catch all the oil. So I might have missed a bit, but it's alright. I would normally heat the car up to make the oil flow a bit easier out the sump, but it really doesn't matter. I've got a little bit of time, so I'll happily wait and let it drain out. So while the oil's draining, I thought I'd whack out the Haynes manual for the Mk2, just to see how much oil goes in it. And if you look down here, engine oil with filter 1.1, which is mine. It is 3.25 litres, so that's the capacity. But these are also really handy just because they tell you like bog standard information that you need to know, and they're really useful when fixing old cars or new cars, because they do them for new cars as well. But I didn't actually know the engine oil grade for my Mk2, so I just went up here, lubricants and fluids, engine. This is multi-grade oil. It can range from 10W30 to 10W50, so I got in between that, which is 10W40. Yeah, they're just a really handy bit of kit. There's literally tons of information in there, and yeah, they're worth their weight in gold. The oil's just finishing draining out now. One useful tip, just make sure the copper washer is on the sump bung, because otherwise without that it can start to leak. But it's always worth checking just before you put the sump bung back in. Fairly easy on these compared to other cars. Got it started now. A little bit difficult when it's not on a ramp, but got the angle eventually. Just do this up, then I'll have to clean up all the mess that I've made. And you don't have to wrench sunk bungs up, just have to a little nip, and that'll do. Right, now that the sump's all mopped up, I just need to undo the oil filter and change that. The oil filter is a little bit difficult, but it's not that bad because it's a Mk2 and it's just got so much room in the engine bay. But if you look down there, underneath there is the filter. Right, I'm underneath the car now. I'm going to try and undo this. Oh, I tell you what, not every oil filter is like that. That was so easy. I tell you what, that was probably the easiest oil filter I've ever had to crack. But now, I've got to try and not spill it everywhere. It just twists off. Oh shit. I think I jinxed myself there. I thought it was really easy to crack off. It wasn't on tight at all, but then I spilt it everywhere, so nothing that I can't mop up though. I've cleaned up all under the car now, and it didn't even get on the carpet, so I'm quite happy about that. Got my new MAN filter. My old one, just gonna nick a bit of oil off there because it's always useful just to whack a bit of oil around the seal. Just helps it seal, and also make sure that the rubber doesn't split when you put the new filter on, because if it's too dry it will split and then could start leaking oil. So just put a little bit around there. So you've just got to screw this one back on now. Next up is the air filter to change. Just 2 Phillips at the top. Shouldn't be too hard to get off, even though I haven't had any of this apart yet, so I'll have to see. There we go. Wow. I've rescued it. Right, I just need to get these off. And then I believe it just pulls out and there's little tabs on the sides, but I'm not too sure if I'm honest. Just a bit of trial and error really, because first time working on that old car and that. It turns out I didn't really need to undo these 2 Phillips because it's just the tabs around the outside, but if you lift it up then you can seal the carburettor and that, so I guess it is useful to have a look at that as well. This air filter looks really clean. It looks worryingly clean, but I'll change it as well just because I'm doing a service, but it's a bit different to a modern one. Modern ones are normally like panel, but obviously because this is a carburettor, it's got to be shaped like that, so nonetheless I'll be changing it out. Get a new one out now. Another MAN filter. There we go. I'll tell you what, I don't want to put these 2 down next to each other because I think I'll get confused. Oh look, they're both exactly the same. Both MAN filters, so maybe someone has changed this recently, but nonetheless I'm going to change it anyway. I'm guessing it just sits in like that. Yeah, I guess so. Well, that was simple. Air filter's all changed, bolt back on, all the clips are back on as well. That's not going anywhere. So the only thing I've got left to do now is the battery. Before I change the battery, I'm just going to take the radio out. Got the tools in there and just pulled it out. I'm completely removing it from the car just so the battery doesn't go flat again, and then I can reinstall it at a later date and sort out all this wiring. Another thing I'm doing just to stop the new battery from going flat is this has got a clock in it, so I want to remove the fuse. My dad's just showing me that on the back of it actually tells you where all the fuses are, so it's quite simple. And then if you go down there, it's just a line, and then pull out the 15, and that's the clock stopped. So happy days. I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with that. The fuse boxes in these are just so simple, and compared to modern day cars, which I've sort of been taught on, they're just so simple, and I don't know why stuff can't be that simple nowadays. So that's the fuse out for the clock, so the battery won't go flat, and also the radio out because there was a red light flashing on it, and that would also make the battery go flat. Just got to swap the battery out now. I won't bore you to tears because I know it's pretty straightforward. It's 2 10mm on the terminals to undo them, and then on the retaining bracket it's 2 13 bolts down there, but I've already loosened them because I was charging this battery up and mucking. That's a new battery, nice and secure on the Mk2 now. Should be all good for the future. As I say, it's got 3 years warranty. It's a good, reputable company. So that's all the service done for today. Just going to start her up, make sure everything's alright and nothing's leaking or anything. Wicked, so that's everything I wanted to get done in this episode. Got the service done, fit the new battery, removed the radio and the fuse for the clock, so the battery has no drain on it. And hopefully in the summer / spring when I start driving this, it'll be a nice reliable battery. So overall, I'm quite happy with the work I've done. I'm glad I've done it before it got dark and cold because there's not a lot of lights in this garage, so I'm pretty happy. So until the next one, I'll see you a lot later.